Kelvin, 24-2 start today after 25-5 against West Virginia. How much of those starts following the game plan, and how much is that the intensity that you come out with?
All of it. And it's, we're not going from game to game. I mean, every day at practice, we work on, inside that little play we ran out of halftime, start second half. I mean, we don't try to be too complicated because of our kids' skill sets. We're not trying to impress anybody by out tricking them. That's guys that can do certain things. You put them in best positions for them. But we're just doing what we do every year. We just get better. I can't think of a year where we haven't. But I don't overreact like most people. Maybe that's because I'm in charge. I think maybe that's got something to do with it. I'm not used to all these cameras in here, all these youngsters. If we weren't no good or losing, would you guys have jobs? Huh? And what would you be doing? What? You wouldn't be doing the same thing. We're winning, so you wouldn't be still be talking about how bad we are. Huh? So if this program had not be where we are right now, you would still have a job. You think there would be a Go Cougs? Is that what? Who do you work? What's the name of your place? Never heard of that one. Who do you work for? Who? Who's that? Is that the?
It's our own thing. We started it this year. Him and I.
Because of the success of the program.
Partly, yes.
So if we didn't have if our basketball team was like 6-20, would y'all still be doing this?
I'd be here.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Good for y'all. That's young professionals trying to move up in the world. That's a good thing. That's good. Now you guys' goal is to be like Chris one day, right? Or like Chris, K and C, Joseph. Chris has been with me since 2014. Joseph's been with me since 2014. How long have you been here, Chris? 17. That's why I'm not used to seeing all these new guys, the youth. That's a good thing. You guys were young one time. A lot of, yeah. I was too. How old are you guys, 20?
22.
20. So that was 50 years ago to me. Huh. Go ahead. What question I got?
Yeah, let's go back to the old timer. Kelvin, just defensively on their guards with Odom, and then I think the other one. Just being able to kind of limit them and never let them.
Well, you're always going to take something away. If you're trying to take something away, and because we put two on the ball, we have to play a certain way behind it, and we were really good at that at times tonight. We scored 31 points off their turnovers. That tells you how effective it was. But Arizona State beat Texas. Arizona State beat Oklahoma. Arizona State beat Kansas State. They are a major college Big 12 basketball program. So, and they got really good players. Kids can shoot it. We got a really good coach, really good coaching staff. So we have a lot of respect for Bobby. We watched their game against Arizona. I think the score is 85-82 in the last minute or so, something like that. So we knew that this was going to be a tough game, and we prepared that way.
To either Flemings or Cenac, the chemistry between you, Harwell, and also the senior stars, Tugler, Uzan, and Sharp has been on point so far, halfway through Big 12. What have you guys been particularly practicing on to help strengthen that connection?
I wouldn't say it's just one thing. I mean, we work every single day in practice since the summer. You know, I mean, Ian Los have instilled like confidence in us, and as we've gone on in the season, it's grown. But you know, just playing, and as you play games, you start to feel out the people you're playing with. You know, you can only get to a certain point in practice. You got to have games to feel that way. So you know, it's starting to get to a point where I know where Chris is cutting. I know where E and Los are going to be for threes, and I mean, if we continue to do that and continue to guard, we'll be a pretty good team.
I mean, I mean, he couldn't have said it better. Just playing with each other, game after game, knowing where we're good at and where we're bad at. Just keep going every day and getting better and learning each other.
This question goes out to Kingston. For next week, you going on the road against Texas Tech after having a legacy game here last week. What's your mindset going on the road where you're going to be public enemy number one?
I wouldn't say it was a legacy game. I gave up
But
probably
where's the
30 points.
What's the legacy game mean?
Yeah, I gave up like 30 points. So
I mean, I say, like, his shot, that's still the deal,
Legacy, though, what does that mean?
The reputation that someone leaves and starting that out young,
Oh.
first building stone for him was what I saw in that game.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a legacy game. You know, I had a horrible game defensively. I didn't shoot really that great from the floor either. So I mean, it doesn't really matter how the game I played. I mean, we ended up closing that game
Arizona
out.
State.
But yeah, so I mean, that's our next game. But we played a good game against Arizona State, and next game we'll just do what we need to do, practice really hard, and play a good game against Tech.
Kelvin, Chris had 5 assists today. How have you seen his passing and his confidence grow? You also had that follow.
Yeah, I just think Chris shows up every day. He and Kingston both are hard workers. They everybody talks about recruiting classes, right? Well, kids that come here choose to come here for a reason. You know, so this is what they want, and they get it. And we teach them and coach them and hold them to certain standards. As soon as Chris committed, which is way before anybody even knew about it, I knew that I would start him at the 4. And I knew he wasn't going to be very good in October. I know he wasn't going to be very good in November. Good chance he might not been very good in December either, because he's never done what he's doing. His whole life in basketball, he's played one position, that's center. And you think about off the ball, our defensive stunts or rotations, he's never done any of that. He's never guarded a three-point shooter. He didn't know how to do any of that. Kingston's the same way. You know, Kingston thought, when Kingston got here, he thought defense was the thing that ran around the backyard to keep the dogs and the toys in. So, but our team reflected these guys where they were early. But we're starting to reflect where they are now. I mean, they've gotten a lot better. They're not, it's like we're in Vegas. I sat there and watched this in Vegas against these two teams, and I said, we just got to go through it. We've had plenty of guys that looked one way in November, looked another way in January and February. 12 years here and 24 years somewhere else. That's 36 years. Was this 36 or 37 for me? 37, so 25 and 12. I've seen a lot of freshman classes come and go. These guys are more talented than your average freshman, but from experience standpoint, they're all the same. They have to learn a coach's new system and learn how to play with older guys. These guys have always been the best player on the team. And when they got here, they weren't the best player. Now, things have changed as we've gone along, but you can see them getting more comfortable. And like Chris, I think, did you hit a 3 to start tonight? Yeah, he looked comfortable shooting it. A month ago, that thing looked like it was in parts. Now it's fluid. So, but that's why you don't overreact to things. Our record is, what is our record? I never know what our record is. 17-1. We've had a chance to win every game we've played, but that's the object, right?
Chris, what grade would you give yourself in November compared to now?
Say that one more time.
What grade would you give yourself? Grade, A, B, C, D, F,
Okay.
from November and grade now.
November, I'll say a F. Now I'll say a C. I mean, everything, honestly. I feel like I can improve in every area. But just keep getting in the gym, keep having a good attitude every day, and getting better every day.
Kelvin, you're about a third through the conference schedule now. As you move forward, are you able to maybe take inventory of where things stand in the league, and just have you seen some of the other teams in terms of being able to catch a game here or there, just sort of where this thing's
Sure,
headed?
there. I saw. I had not seen Oklahoma State or Kansas State. I didn't know their teams at all, and I watched them last night for the first time. Obviously, I just watched Arizona and Arizona State. So I was stayed early, but I don't really watch. I mean, it's not very often this time of year where you don't have a game on a Saturday, and so I was able to see more games yesterday after I got home from practice. I watched some bunch of teams, but this league's a gauntlet. You got two teams last night, both of them probably good enough to compete to go to a Final Four. Texas Tech and BYU, they're both one of them had to lose. So I don't think it's that big a deal when you lose in this league. You just got to get used to it. We're going to lose. May lose more than one in a row. We've been through that enough to just move on to the next game. So we got a stretch coming up that there's not very many teams going to get through this league unscathed. Arizona may. But Arizona may be better than the rest of us. I don't know. So if they are, then we were 19-1 last year, and the one game we lost was overtime. So that was us last year. That could be Arizona this year. They could go undefeated. But the league is better this year, so your road games are going to be significantly harder.
We talked to you earlier in the week about Dwight Davis's ceremony at halftime.
How was that?
It was great. I was
Was
what
it?
I was going to get to. You probably haven't seen it, but he actually led a chant there at the end. His words were, "Damn, it feels good to be a Cougar."
That's pretty good.
So he mentioned the gratitude that he had, probably not much more than what you said earlier in the week. But what does it mean to finally get that done and give him that
Yeah.
honor?
People get forgotten, but history is so important, especially at the historically great programs. History. We can't not honor our past. Now, when I got here, everybody wanted to live in the past, and I said, no, I'm not living in the past. I'm going to live in the future. But that doesn't mean we can't honor the past. But to me, this will always be Guy V. Lewis's program because he started it. He's the one that got us through segregation, brought in the first black student athletes, and got us through a tough time in American society. And I was raised during that time, so I know what that was like. And then Elvin Hayes, the first regular season televised game in the history of college basketball was UCLA and University of Houston, January 18th, 1968. I remember sitting at the TV watching it with my father. And so every year my daughter Lauren does a tip-in banquet, and we always honor a former player. We've honored Elvin and Dream and Reed Geddes and Michael Young, brought Michael Young back, but always honor the past players. All these guys are going to be ex-Cougars one day. But I want them to be part of our history, and I want to honor our history. So when I got here, when I started asking about retiring the jerseys, I wanted to know who was deserving, because I didn't know. I didn't know the history as well as a lot of the historians around here, like Bill Worrell, Jim Nance. So I called Jim, because Jim knew this basketball program more than anybody. And he gave me 2 or 3 names. I called this guy 2 or 3 names, two or three names. So I'm on my 4th athletic director, and I'm on my 5th football coach. The only reason I say that is I've been here a long time. So I've had to fight battles over a longer period of time. But one of the battles was getting those jerseys retired. You know, if you're not in 2 feet, then you don't believe in it, and I believe in it. You know, it was important to honor Don Chaney. It was important to honor Dwight Davis, and there'll be others down the road. I certainly don't want to. The worst thing we could do is not honor someone that's deserving. That would be bad. But I do know that Marcus Sasser and Jamal Shedd are deserving. Consensus All-Americans, Players of the Year, part of the winningest sustained program in the history of this school, and they are all major parts of it. And, you know, long after I'm gone, you know, people will come in here and look up and say, Dwight Davis, Don Chaney, Elvin Hayes. They won't know who they are, because time will erode most memories. And new people, like these people in here, they have no idea who I'm talking about probably. But there'll be people that'll Google Marcus, that'll Google Jamal, and they'll see what they did while they were here. That they led a national resurgence in this basketball program's history, 2 linchpins of it. And if Quentin had been here for 4 years, his name would probably be right there with them. But we got kids. Kingston and Chris probably won't be here long enough, but they'll always be part of this program. And this program's lineage and how we honor this program is really important to me.
Chris, did you have a question? I got time for one more question. If anybody's got it. Everybody good? Coach,